Hey guys, so I wanted to address this question that I got through an Instagram message from someone who was asking me about like medical assisting and if I thought that it was worth it to get a degree in medical assisting or if they should just go for a certification. And so I thought maybe this would be a good topic in case some of you guys were interested as well. So in my opinion, unless you plan to further your education in the future, where maybe you can get into like a medical assistant to RN program or something like that, because occasionally you will find those programs. I don't think that it's worth it to A, spend the time, B, spend the money on getting a medical assistant degree. For example, in my case, my program was a 16-week program. I'm already done. We started in November, ended in December, ended in February, and I'm awaiting my test results for my national certification. Now, when you think about financially, if you just want to get into the workplace as a medical assistant, it's much more feasible for you financially and time-wise to do something like a 16-week certification program as opposed to a 2-year degree. But again, it all depends on what you're looking to do in the future. If you just want to be a medical assistant and you want to stay a medical assistant, or you don't really know if you want to go back to school and be a nurse or something else, then I think it would be better to cut your time way down, obviously, because 16 weeks is way shorter than 2 years to get an associate's degree. I also feel like it cuts down a lot on like prerequisites, having to pay for all these prerequisite classes, having to pay for books and all that stuff. I didn't have to pay for my medical assistant certification program because I got a workforce grant from Indiana. So they paid for the entire tuition of my program, and tuition included the first attempt on my NHA exam for national certification. So if I wouldn't have had that workforce grant, I would have had to pay, I think it's somewhere around $5,000. And that's for my 16-week program, which includes a 4-week externship, which I have not done yet. But I just feel like it all depends on your future goals, because if you are planning to eventually go for like PA school or go to nursing school or something like that, then obviously in that situation, getting an associate's degree in medical assisting might be something that you would want to look into. But if you're just somebody who, like me, is trying to move up in the medical field and doesn't really know what you want to do in the future, I think it's more financially feasible to get, a certification, get a certification program behind your belt. I've done it with phlebotomy. Now I'm doing it with this CCMA program, which is Certified Clinical Medical Assistant, which is the credential you get from the NHA once you pass your national certification test. So, like I said, it honestly depends on your future priorities. Like, there are certain places where you can find medical assistant to RN programs. There is one in Indiana through Ivy Tech, but it's not at every campus, and you do need an associate's degree plus a certain number of years of experience as a medical assistant before you can qualify. And if your like prerequisites or the courses that you took for your medical assisting don't match the prerequisites for Ivy Tech, you would have to go through the prerequisites for Ivy Tech to still make sure that you have the knowledge to get into the nursing program. So again, it all just depends on your future plans. But I think, it also is better to do the certification program because, you cut out kind of those BS classes where it's like English, math, plain, like the prerequisite classes. Like, I used to be enrolled in an associate's degree for medical assisting back before I got divorced from my first husband. And I'm glad that I found this certification program because it just seems a lot more efficient, I guess would be the word I'm looking for, because like 16 weeks started in November, we finished in February. And with all the COVID stuff going around, like we didn't even have to leave our homes to go to school because we did our classes over Zoom, which you guys know I've made videos before talking about like what I think are the downsides, like the cons of doing school for medical assisting via Zoom. We did have to go on campus for skills training and stuff like that. But I can make a separate video talking more, like going more in depth about pros and cons of online school and Zoom lectures and stuff like that if you want. But when it comes to getting a medical assistant degree versus getting a certification, there's not really, at least in my area, there's not really much like competition. They will hire you whether you're certified with a degree or certified without a degree. They just want the certification. And I think it's probably that way in a lot of places because from what I've heard, there's a lot of demand for medical assistants and people who can help with like COVID vaccines and stuff like that currently, and just, you know, work as a medical assistant in general. So I don't know what you guys feel about it. Do you think it's necessary to go for 2 years and get a medical assistant degree? Or do you think that it's okay to just have a certification? Because either way, you're still learning the knowledge that you need to know in order to be a medical assistant and pass that certification test. But again, I think it depends on your future plans, because if you get your associate's degree now, as opposed to in the future, when you decide that you want to go to, you know, if you want to go to PA school, then you need, you know, a bachelor's degree and then your program. And, you know, with nursing, it's a little bit different, but it all just depends. So I would say, look at what your future goals are. Do you want to just work as a medical assistant? Or do you want to further yourself in the healthcare field? Do you think you have the time and financial capability now to put off working as a medical assistant to get an associate's degree in medical assisting? Or is it more feasible and more positive choice for you to go for a short certification program, get certified, and start working much, much sooner? So those are the things that I would ask myself if I was in your shoes. I've already gone through it, so now I'm just looking for a job. But anyways, I will talk to you guys again in my next video. Please let me know if there's any other topics you'd like me to cover, any questions you have that I might be able to answer in a future video, whether it is CNA related, phlebotomy related, medical assisting related, all that stuff. So I will talk to you guys again in my next video.